Today, guys, inshallah ta'ala, we're going to learn how to construct the command form of the verb. Now, if you can just let me know in the comments thread, guys. I know you all know what the command form of the verb is. The command form of the verb is when you're telling somebody or actually commanding somebody to perform an action. As a side note, a little side benefit, فائدة إضافية, an additional benefit, we use the command form of the verb when we're making dua a lot of the times. You know, when you say, for example, Allahumma barik fika, for example, you know, Allahumma bless. You're saying to Allahumma barik fihi, or barik fi whoever you're speaking to. All right. Allahumma adkhilni al-jannah, or Allah, enter me into paradise. Allahumma ghfirli, Allahumma ighfir li, or Allah, forgive me. Does that make sense, guys? Let me know in the comments, Fred, if you've had any experience in learning or knowing, or so, has anybody ever taught you how to construct the amr? It's called the fi'l al-amr, al-fi'l al-amr, the command form of the verb. Or will this be something that, you know, yes, a little from YouTube, nope, no experience, excellent, all new, fantastic, I haven't had any experience with construct, fantastic, fantastic. Hey, all right. In short, guys, right, the amr, the command form of the verb, is constructed by taking one of a few simple steps. You have to take all of these steps, but we're going to go in stages. I'm going to try to the best of my ability to explain it, but if not, then I'll try to see if I can write it on the screen. All right. All right. Now let's take a simple verb. Let's take what is the present tense for the al-mufrad al-mudhakkar for dhahaba? Anyone?
يذهب.
Yadhabu. Okay, Jade. Yadhabu or tadhabu, depending on if you're speaking about or to somebody. Let's take the verb tadhab. All right. So that ta at the beginning of the verb tadhabu, or that ya at the beginning of the verb yadhabu, is the harf al-mudari', صح?
صح.
Mumtaz. Mumtaz. Right. So in order for us to, right now, all I'm interested in is how to compose the command form of the verb for the singular masculine. That takes out the plural masculine, that takes out the singular feminine and the plural feminine. We will cover that, inshallah, but all I'm interested in is the singular masculine. Right. The first step that you do, guys, is take off the harf al-mudari'. You know what I think I'm going to do? I think it's going to be way more better if I try to draw it. All right. Tell me if you guys can see. It's not going to be the greatest, but we're going to work with what we can.
Yeah, I can see the red.
The red writing, yeah?
Yeah.
Girls, can you see it as well?
Yeah, I can see it.
One test. All right, so that's the verb right there, right? And then we're going to have tadhabu. So the first thing we're going to want to do when we want to find out how, and this is like, this is a technique that you can use to, generally speaking, right, to find out what the amr of any verb is. The first step, guys, if you're writing this down, cool. If not, no worries, is you take off the harf al-mudari'. Just like, oops, that wasn't supposed to happen. Okay. All right, I'm going to draw that back on. So we was left with this. Oh man, draw like this, yeah. So we was left with this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we're left with. After we've taken off the harf al-mudari', we're left with dhahab. All right. The next thing we do, guys, step number 2, is we take off the vowel sound above the end of the verb, and we replace it with a sukoon. Got me so far?
Yeah, I'm following.
Now, Sister Farwa, are you able to pronounce this word, what you see here?
No, not now that it begins with the school you cut.
Excellent. I can hear the cold in your voice. May Allah make it an expiation for your sin. I'm not saying that you got loads of them, but I'm just saying, you know, dua that most people make when somebody's not well. All right, so it's not possible to pronounce this word. You can't say dhab. The Arabs never ever begin a word with a letter that's sakin. You follow me, Aisha?
Yeah.
Okay, so what we have to do as a result, we have to bring the Hamza al-Wasl in the place of that harf al-Madari' that we deleted. So now this is what we're left with. Now the last and final thing to do is add the vowel sounds. But it begs the question, well, how do we know? Is it adhab, is it udhab, or is it idhab? Simple rule. If the aynul fi'l, which is this letter here, is maftuha, i.e. it has a fatha, or it's maksura, if it had a kasra, then the vowel sound on the hamza al-wasl will always be, guys, kasra. So we would say idhab. Make sense, guys?
Yeah.
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 Okay, and let me give you an example of a verb that the ayn al-fi'l is maksura. Let me think about this. Okay, got it. So we've got the verb. Can I rub this off so I can use this space again?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. I'll rub this off real quick. All right. So let's take the verb yajlis, right? So we say ya, jim, lam, sin, like this, guys. Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm not going to add the vowel sounds because it's just we know what it's we know that this is like yajlis. Right.
Yeah.
So what was the first step, Abdullah?
The first step was to take away the yeah.
The harf al-mudari'. Gone.
Harf al-mudari', yeah.
It's gone. Aisha, what was the second step?
Take the last vowel of the last letter.
And replace it with a
Sukun.
mumtaz. So now we're left with this. Bearing in mind, there's already a sukun here. Farwa, what was the next step?
Add a hamzatul wasl at the beginning.
Excellent. I'm just going to put it here for the time being, guys, right? But just understand that it should be right there, yeah?
Mhm.
Mr. Leader. All right, Abdullah, what was the next step? What did I say? If the ayn al-fi'l is maftuha or maksura, what would be the vowel sound of the hamza al-wasl here?
It will be a kasra.
It would be a kasra. فنقول اجلس هكذا.
Huh. Okay.
Ijlis. All right, guys?
Yeah.
Very, very, very easy. Now, begs the next question. Can I rub this off, guys, quickly?
Yeah, I understand it.
Mumtaz. The next question now, and I'll give you two examples back to back. The next example is if the ayn al-fi'l is madmuma. So let's take the verb. Oops. Let's take the verb. يخرج, and the verb as it comes in the dialect that we're going to read in a bit. يدخل. Now notice, in fact, let me change the color. Notice that the ayn al-fi'l in both of these examples are madmuma. So the first step, Sister Aisha, what do we do?
You take off the harf al-mudari' at the beginning.
Mumtaz. Then what's the next step?
You take off the last vowel of the end and add a sukun.
Mumtaz. And last but not least?
You add the hamzatul wasl at the beginning.
Okay. Now, Sheikh Abdullah, we said before, if the ayn al-fi'l was maftuha or maksura, then the hamzatul wasl is going to be maksura, دائما. لكن إذا كان عين الفعل مضمومة, then the hamzatul wasl is also going to be مضمومة.
Oh.
فنقول أدخل. وماذا ترون هنا, guys? What do you guys see here?
أدخل.
You see? That's the rule. So we always want to pay attention when we see any verb. You just, not any verbs, sorry, most verbs, you throw it into the present tense. Take off the harf al-mudari'ah, put the sukun at the end of the word, and then put the hamza al-wasl at the beginning. If the ayn al-fi'l has a fatha or kasra, this hamza al-wasl is going to have a kasra. If it has a dhamma, it's going to have a dhamma. But guys, this is only the case if the fi'l amr begins the word, because ordinarily, right, without the hamzatul wasl, we cannot adequately pronounce that word, because they both begin, these verbs both begin with a letter that is sakin, so it's not possible to do. That hamzatul wasl allows us to adequately pronounce the word. All right, that's the function of that hamza al-wasl. However, if a word or a letter precede the hamzatul wasls, for example, I don't know why I chose pink, but I did. All right. Yeah. Let's say we've got a wow or a fa. Yeah. So in such a case, sorry, don't know what letter that is. In such a case, what will happen is the hamzatul wasl now, although it still remains in writing, it gets omitted in pronunciation. So we would go straight from this wow to this kha, and we would go straight from this fa to the dal, and this dhamma will not be written no more. You might see a little shape like this, or you might just not see anything on it. So here you would say wakhruj, and here you would say fadkhul.
You know with fadkhul, do you still add the alif after the fa?
Yeah, you would still add it, but it's not pronounced.
Oh, okay.
It's alif here she's talking about, guys.
Yeah.
What does one second. What's the ayah where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala يقول وَادْخُلِي فِي عِبَادَتي وَادْخُلِ الْجَنَّةِ? What surah is that from again?
Oh, it was at the end of the surah, right?
Right at the end.
Fajr.
Is it Fajr?
I think so.
All right, let me quickly just check. 30 seconds. Yeah, I think you're right. It's Fajr. Let me just get it. Does anybody have a mushaf next to them?
No, but I have a Quran app on my phone.
Yeah. See if you can find it before me.
Yeah. Fajr. Yeah. At the end of Al-Fajr. فَادْخُلِي فِي عِبَادِي وَادْخُلِي جَنَّتِي.
You see that? What you see there? I can't find it, man. Oh, got it. طيب. All right. Now here you've got the fa. Look at the sisters. Have you got? Can you see the eye in front of you?
I can pull it up. Hang on.
No, I mean if you can, no worries. If you can, great. If you can't, then don't worry about it. But in any case, you got fada khuli. So you go from the fa straight to the dal.
Mm-hmm.
And then for the next last ayah, you've got wadukhuli. Now this is slightly different because this is not speaking to the singular feminine. If you go back a few ayat, what is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaking about? He says, Ya ayyatuhan nafsul mutma'inna. How do they translate that, Abdullah? Oh, you like tranquil soul, no?
Uh-huh.
All right. Irji'i ila rabbiki radiyatan maradiyya. Return back to your Lord, radiyatan, yani in pleasure or being pleased. Maradiyya, how do they translate that exactly?
Yeah, it says here, in the translation, it says, return to your Lord, well pleased and pleasing to him.
And pleasing to him. فَادْخُلِي فِي عِبَادِي.
It says here, enter among my righteous servants.
وَادْخُلِي جَنَّتِي, and enter into my paradise, right?
Yeah.
Who is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaking, addressing in those ayat?
Is it in the ayah that you just read where it says نفس المطمئنة?
Yeah, يا أيتها الناس. Sorry guys. يا أيتها الناس. نعم. النفس, sorry. النفس, guys, in the Arabic language, it doesn't look like it's a feminine noun, but it's actually feminine. It's one of those nouns that don't take the ta' al-marabuta at the end. And the reason why you know it's feminine because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala referred to it as mutma'inna. Yani mutma'inna, it's feminine. And then when now Allah's addressing the nafs, he says irji'i. Irji'i, guys, is the feminine version of the verb. If you look at my screen.
Oh, okay. There's a feminine version of the command form of the verb?
Exactly. So now, irji' is when you tell somebody to return. Irji' comes from raja'a, ماذا؟ يرجع. يرجع. How did we make the present? How do we make this one, the command from yarji'? We took off the ya, we took off the dhamma, we replaced it with a sukoon, as you can see here. Then we replaced the ya with a hamzat al-wasl, with the kasra at the bottom. This is if we was addressing the singular masculine, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala يقول هنا irji'i.
And so that's for the feminine?
That's for the feminine, guys. And you can use the same process, adding that yeah at the end to change any command form that's addressing the singular masculine to the singular feminine. That wasn't even the shahid that I was pointing out. What I was pointing out here is fadukhuli, wadukhuli, where a letter or sometimes even a word may come in front of the command form, the command form of the verb. So the hamzatul wasl is deleted in pronunciation. But Sister Farwa, can you see that it still remains there in writing?
Yeah.
I have a quick question. You said that, and yeah, I see it here, that when a letter comes in front of the word, the hamzatul wasl no longer has a dhamma on it or a kasra. It has that little symbol that you drew. Exactly. I've seen that everywhere. What is that symbol?
I don't know, Sheikh, to be honest. It kind of I'm not that, this isn't like my forte, but it kind of represents like the word isn't or the letter, my bad, isn't pronounced.
Okay, so it's almost like a sukoon, but it's on top. I've noticed it's on top of every alif. Yeah, it's only on top of alif.
Yeah, because you don't pronounce it, but it's not like a sukoon. When you say it's almost like a sukoon, what do you mean?
What I mean is that, like, with a sukoon, you just pronounce the sound of it. You don't add a vowel after it, right?
You stop on it, but the sukoon dictates that you stop on it. But this letter here, it doesn't tell you to stop on it. It means that when it comes with a letter, so a letter or a word comes in front of it, you omit it, but it still remains there in writing. That's the.
Oh, so it's saying it's basically a silent word, a silent letter.
If you mean by silent that it's written but not pronounced, then
yeah, that's what I mean. It's not pronounced.
It's not pronounced, exactly.
Yeah, I also see it on like ya ayyatuhan nafsul mutma'inna. It's on top of the alifs for an-nafs and al-mutma'in. And yeah, in pronunciation, you say that when
nafs, sorry, you go straight from there. Ya ayyatuhan or ya ayyuhat. I keep getting this word wrong. Allah al-musta'an. Ya ayyatuha. And then you go straight to the noon from an-nafs.
Yes. Yeah, that's cool.
Pretty interesting, right?
Yeah, jazakallah khair.
Barakallahu feekum. All right, so in this like little short intro, we've covered the how to form the verb, the command form of the verb for the singular masculine, and also for the singular feminine. Now, the same is true for the plural. You just, obviously, if you're going to tell a group of boys to go, you're going to say ukhruju with the waw and alif at the end of the verb. Or, let's say, for example, you're going to say to a group of females, right? You want to tell them to enter. You're simply going to say udkhulna. You're going to noon and niswa at the end. Udkhulna, irji'na, ukhrujna, wa hakadha. Make sense, guys?
Okay. Yeah.
So the vast majority of the verb is as we've just learned, and then we just have to add this noon and niswa at the end.
Yeah, for whoever we're talking to.
Exactly. Yeah, no, noon and niswa only if you're addressing a group of females.
Yeah. Okay.
Any questions before we crack on?
Yeah, this verb is just for al-mukhatab, right?
Says, repeat that question for me, sister.
Is these verbs, when you conjugate them,
Yeah,
there's no like past tense or future tense, right? It's just for when you're addressing someone in front of you.
exactly. What a fantastic question. Yeah, that's correct. There's no past tense of a command form because the command form of the verb is happening at the time of speaking.
And also, I'm guessing that because you're speaking to someone, it's in the second person point of view, not first person or third person.
Exactly. And also, guys, if you remember, like if we go back, Sister Aisha, right, to like Medina Book 1, right? When we was looking at examples of a nominal sentence, we said that the mubtada is going to be ma'rifa, right?
Yeah.
And the khabar can be nakira, the khabar can be ma'rifa, or the khabar can be shibhu jumla, or the khabar can be jumla ismiya, or jumla fi'liya, or jar or majroor, or dharf. يعني واسم مجرور, right? There's so many ways we can make the khabar, but we said that generally speaking the mubtada is going to be ma'rifa al-waladu, and then the khabar is going to be nakira, right? And then later on in Medina Book 1 we learned that it's permissible to delay the mubtada to come after the khabar and the khabar to come in front of the mubtada, but there were conditions for that. If the mubtada was jar or majroor, meaning harfu jar and then an ism majroor, right? We said, and the mubtada now turns out to be nakira, it's permissible to have the mubtada come second and the khabar to come first. So we'd say fil masjidi waladun. We wouldn't say fil masjidi al waladu. That's not how the Arabs speak. All right, so it's permissible for the khabar, which is this word here, to come first if it consists of jar or majroor and the subject is nakira. Make sense, guys?
Yeah.
Excellent. Now, in this lesson, we're going to learn that one of the times it is permissible for the mubtada to begin the sentence, even though it is nakira, is if you cast your eyes down. Where did I just see it? Right here, guys. Cast your eyes down here, guys. Aisha, what does it say here?
أقرب في الفصل.
One more time.
أقرب في الفصل.
Did you say أقرب or أقربون?
أقرب, sorry.
بون, ممتاز. أقرب في الفصل. ما معنى أقرب في الفصل?
Is there a scorpion in the class?
Excellent. So here we can see the أقرب Abdullah is معرفة أو نكرة.
It's indefinite. It's nakira. It's
indefinite. ومع ذلك أخي يعني it started the sentence. It began the sentence. And the rule is that it's permissible to have the mubtada beginning the sentence even though it's nakira if it is preceded by the hamza of al-istifham, harf al-istifham.
Okay.
Doesn't Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say in the Quran, let me not...
But quick question. Shouldn't this sentence have a question mark at the end of it?
Sorry, Akhi. Let me quickly just...
go ahead.
The ayah before I forget. There's a verse in the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala يقول أإله. Who can complete the ayah?
مع الله.
Is it مع الله or غير الله? أإله?
It's مع Allah, isn't it?
It's مع Allah?
I haven't memorized it, but I've heard of it. I've heard it many times, and I think it's مع الله.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it is مع Allah.
Excellent. Jade. Now, with that being said, إله. إله is nakira or ma'rifa, guys?
Nakira.
Nakira. And with that being said, it began the sentence. So, in a nutshell, guys, it's permissible to start off the sentence with a mubtada that's nakira in that following case.
Oh, okay. And so
Yeah.
technically, yeah. So this is the statement here is a question.
No, this statement here, it says أقرب في الفصل أين هي. So this is where your question mark is. Where is it? Where is it? And here we can see that the fact that it says here, what does that mean for the gender of أقرب?
It's feminine. The word itself is feminine.
ممتاز.
So yeah, because that confused me right there. The fact that there's no question mark at the end of it, because it sounds like he's asking, is there a scorpion in the classroom?
That's exactly what the question is.
But there's no question mark there.
Maybe because I mean, I don't know why, but maybe because the question mark is after Aina here.
Oh, okay. I was thinking it was maybe like a typo or something like that.
Oh, no. Let's read the diagram. Let's read, when we read it, it will, okay.
It'll click?
Yeah, no, it's gonna make a whole bunch of sense if you see it.
Okay, inshallah.
If you see it in a context, right? I mean, just look at the word, look at the thing, but the sentence before it. What does it say?
يا أستاذ يا أستاذ
Yes,
ها هنا عقرب. Oh yeah, okay. Here is a scorpion.
yeah. So, what the teacher now, he says, أقرب في الفصل أين هي? So really and truly, more like an exclamation. He's saying it like an exclamation mark.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because
he's scared.
oh yeah, that makes a lot more sense. Okay.
Like, all right, inshallah ta'ala, Aisha, أنتِ تكونين المدرس وفروة. Are you all right to read فروة?
Yeah, I can read.
أنتِ تكونين الطالبة.
Okay.
Should we start?
Yep, anyone can start. No, I don't mind.
من بالباب.
أنا طالب جديد.
ادخل. ما اسمك؟
اسمي همايون.
همايون. كيف تكتب هذا الاسم؟ اكتبه على هذه الورقة.
ورقة.
يا أستاذ ها هنا أقرب.
أقرب في الفصل. أين هي؟
انظر هنا يا أستاذ، هي تحت مكتب هشام.
اقتلوها يا إخوان.
بما نقتلها؟
اقتلها بحذائك يا هشام.
Again.
اقتلها بحذائك يا هشام.
Good.
أماتت.
You're scared, definitely scared.
Sorry.
Shall I read Hisham too?
Okay. Now let's get Abdullah in to do the Hisham and Ali.
Okay.
Okay. بسم الله. نعم ماتت.
اجلسوا يا أبنائي. اقرأ الدرس يا علي.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق. خلق الإنسان من علق. يا أستاذ، حفظت هذه السورة. أي سورة أحفظ بعدها؟
احفظ سورة التين. خذ دفترك هذا واكتب فيه سورة العلق. يا أبا بكر إنك نعسان. اذهبوا إلى الحمام واغسل وجهك.
يوجد خطأ ليس اذهبوا. الصواب اذهب.
there's a سكون معاً.
أيوة في خطأ. هذا خطأ. That's a mistake.
Okay. اذهب إلى الحمام واغسل وجهك. افتح النوافذ يا عبد الله. فإن الغرفة مظلمة والجو حار.
Fantastic, excellent. All right, there's a few observations that I need to make, but I'm going to go from where go backwards if you like, right? Go backwards, inshallah ta'ala. It was very good, sister, that you read I mean, I know that the vowel sound is there, but mashallah, you still did it. You see this word here?
Mm-hmm.
What does it say, guys?
افتحي.
افتح.
افتح. يعني الفعل هو افتح هكذا. فعل أمر من فتح يفتح افتح to mean open. لكن the reason why it's got the the kasra there, guys, is due to the what rule?
The 2 sukoons rule.
التقاء الساكنين. All right, التقاء الساكنين. Because remember, you see this noon here with a shadda. Do you guys know what that shadda represents when it comes on top of a letter?
Is it
There
two
are
noons?
2 noons, excellent. So you got a noon plus a noon. What's on top of the first noon?
A sukoon.
Mumtaz. And then fatha. When they come together, we have that look. So we've got iltiqa as-sakinain, hence why we say iftahin. All right, which was great. Another thing here, if you look on my screen, guys, also Aisha, I got a mistake on my book or on the online version. Anyway, it says idhabu. It would never be idhabu. We might say we can say, shall I say, adhabu, which means I go, but obviously we know that that's not what's intended by with this. So idhab, he's speaking to who was he speaking to? Ali, Ali or
Abu Bakr.
Abu Bakr. أيوة يا أبو بكر إنك نعسان. By the way, this word نعسان ممنوع من الصرف, and it means sleepy.
Oh, okay.
Sleepy. So when he says اذهب يعني فعل أمر إلى الحمام, go to the bathroom, واغسل. Guys, remember I told you a little while ago that when the fi'l amr has a word or a letter in front of it, we go straight from that letter or word to the letter that is sakin, and this is a prime example of that. واغسل. But can you see, Sister Farwa, that the hamster al-wasl is still written?
Yeah. It's
نعم.
written.
ممتاز. واغسل وجهك. Aisha, why do we say وجهك وليس وجهك?
Because it's مفعول به.
مفعول به, excellent. This is the thing that you have to wash your face, and this is مضاف and this is مضاف إليه. فإن الغرفة, why is this word منصوب يا عبد الله?
Because of inna.
Because of إن. ممتاز. يا فروة, why is عبد الله أو عبد الله منصوب يعني عبد الله? لماذا نقول يا عبد الله?
Because of the yeah.
Because of the yeah, and also because this is the mudaf. This is in the position of al-mudaf.
Yeah.
ممتاز. So when we say فإن الغرفة مظلمة, مظلمة يعني dark, right?
Oh, okay.
Let me just double check. That's how they translate مظلمة. Because you know in Arabic, guys, words can have different meanings, but مظلمة means dark, and the reason why we say مظلمة is because we're speaking about a feminine noun. If it was a masculine noun, like let's say, for example, I wanted to say the house is dark, I'll say, فَإِنَّ الْبَيْتَ مُظْلِمٌ. مُظْلِمٌ.
Yeah.
طيب. وَالْجَوَّ. Aisha, why do we say وَالْجَوَّ وَلَيْسَ وَالْجَوُّ?
Is it linked to the word inna?
Connected to the word inna. Fantastic. يعني فإن الغرفة مظلمة وإن الجو حار هكذا. Guys, do you remember a couple lessons ago? Wait, no, I'm getting mixed up with Madinah Book 1. In Madinah Book 1, guys, we learned al-asma al-khamsa, the 5 nouns. We covered 2 of them in Book 1, if I'm not mistaken. And those 5, from 2 of those 5 nouns that we covered in Book 1, guys, were akhun, wa abun. You remember, Sister Aisha?
Yeah.
طيب. And we said that with these 2 nouns specifically, and the other 3, some ulama say 4, 6 altogether, but I'm only interested in these 2 for now. With these 2 nouns specifically, right? When they act as al-mudaf, right? When they come in the position of al-mudaf, then we no longer look at the vowel sounds. We look at the letters. When ab and akh are marfu', we're going to see that, and they're in the position of the mudaf, we're going to see them being marfu' with a wow. When they're in the state of jar, we're going to see them in the state of a jar with a yeah. And when they're in the state of nasb, we're going to see them in the state of nasb with what?
With alif.
Alif. And this is what we can see here. We can see, you see this rule here, Ya Aba Bakr. That's exactly the same as Ya Abdallah. Exactly the same.
Oh.
This is mudaf ilay. Sorry, this is mudaf here, and this is mudaf ilay. This is mudaf here, this is mudaf ilay.
Oh, because it's father of.
Exactly, the father of Bakr, right? Just like, but the thing why it gets a bit trickier, when we look at the word Abdullah here, or Abdullah, we know it's mansoob because we can clearly see that fatha. So we say, Ya Abdullah. But again, with ab, because it's part of al-asma al-khamsa, we don't say ya aba, yani just with a ba and a fatha. Because with the asma al-khamsa, when they occupy the position of the mudaf, now we look to the letters and we do not look to the harakat.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, makes sense. And then remember, guys, I said to you when we're making the command form of the verb, cast your eyes to this word here. Is it a bit messy me annotating on the book, or is it okay?
I'm following.
You're following, yeah? Girls, is it all right?
Yeah.
Okay for me.
If you want me to rub out the rest of it, I can rub out the rest, the ones that we've already done.
No, it's okay for me.
It's all right?
No. Yeah, it's okay for me.
Okay, Jay. When we get to this verb, ihfad, we said that we get the verb, yani tahfad or yahfad. We take off we go through all of those steps that we just previously mentioned, and now we're left with ihfad, yani memorize. So the teacher says, memorize ihfad surata, the chapter of at-teen. This is mudaf. This is maf'ulan bihi. Now check this verb out, guys. What does this say?
خذ.
وما معنى خذ?
Take.
Excellent. It comes from the verb أخذ.
يأخذ.
ممتاز.
Oh.
All right. أخذ يأخذ. Now this is a special type of a verb, guys. Inshallah, we'll go into it in more detail. But what happens is, if we were to do that same rule that we did before, and then was to replace this harf al-mudari'a with a hamza like this, it doesn't work. So in this case, and also with the verb, qala yaqulu qul, we don't put the hamza al-wasl in front of verbs like qul. All right?
Yeah.
Like qul with a qaf as in say. وكذلك, how do you tell somebody to eat?
Kul.
Kul with a kaf, right? Again, those verbs there, like I'm gonna write at the top here, khudh or qul or kul, like this. They're on a slightly different pattern and they have slightly different rules. They're still command forms, but they don't follow the same pattern as taking up and replacing it with hamza al-wasl wa hakadha. So just try to memorize these verbs, these command form of the verbs. Khudh daftaraka, take your daftar. Oh yeah, by the way, Sister Aisha, when you read it correctly in terms of the pronunciation, but where you stopped, it was incorrect because you said something like this. You said ihfadh surat at-teen, khudh daftaraka, hada waktub fihi. That's how you read it. But what's intended is khudh daftaraka hada waktub fihi. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jay. So khudh daftaraka hada, take this notebook of yours. That's the understanding. Lahda, Mimi, can you get me a glass of water, please, when you finish? Thank you. Sorry, guys. خذ دفترك هذا. Take this notebook of yours. واكتب فيه سورة. واكتب فيه سورة العلق. And write in it, يعني في الدفتر, سورة العلق. Make sense, guys?
Yeah.
ممتاز. I'm going to clear this away now.
Sorry, can I go back a bit, please?
Sure.
On the top line, it says, أي سورة أحفظ. isn't it أحفظ?
Okay, let me see. Right up. Okay, so clear my drawing. Take that away. All right, you're talking about this line right here.
Yeah.
All right, repeat the question for me.
It says أي سورة أحفظ. I
Oh,
thought it would have been أحفظ.
no, that's a mistake. You know what? This book that I'm using, I just found it on the internet. Well done for noticing that. I found it on the internet, and as we've seen, unfortunately, there's a lot of like grammatical errors in the book. So be very, very careful, and don't always rely on like the vowel sounds that you might. Even if you were to pick up an Islamic book, let's say you picked up Usul al-Thalatha and you're reading it and it's got the harakat in it. Don't think, oh, there's never going to be a mistake in harakat because somebody just made a mistake, Yeah, just rely more so on your ability to understand what's going on, if that makes sense. What's going on in terms of the grammar and stuff like that.
Actually, this should help us because I'm sorry. Actually, this should help us because it should keep us on our toes, right?
La shak, akhi, la shak. Did somebody else have a question?
I was gonna say, you said that sometimes we should rely on our own understanding because there can be mistakes.
Yeah.
How would we know if I'm the one that's making a mistake or the person that wrote it?
Fantastic. One way is exactly how you identified it now. You're familiar with this verb, right? Hafidha yahfadhu. So instantaneously you knew that, okay, that was a mistake. And also, where did we see here? I know when you was reading it, I think you were just so, you was concentrating so much on just reading it, you probably wasn't focusing too much on, this is supposed to be command form. But again, it's just stuff like that. Once you expose yourself enough to anything, but in the context of what we're speaking about the grammar. Once you expose yourself enough, you would see, okay. I'll give an example. I don't know if any of you guys watched the lesson I did today in the masjid before I came home. I was going through the book Sifat al-Salat al-Nabi by Sheikh bin Baz, right? And with those lessons specifically, I get somebody from the brothers that are attending the lesson to read. Now, I'm fully aware that the reader is not proficient in Arabic grammar. So I'm expecting mistakes. But for the average person, they're just reading. They're not necessarily reading and contemplating, okay, this is the Amr, or this is iltiqa as-sakinain, or this is maf'ulun bihi, or this is, do you see what I'm saying? But when I'm reading, it's easier when I'm listening. Because if I'm reading and trying to do it at the same time, it's a bit harder. But if you're listening to somebody do it, now you can focus. So oftentimes the brother, and he did it today, he said something like, في الثالثة. He said, في الثالثة والرابعة, or something like that. And I said, لا, في الثالثة والرابعة. Now, this is slightly different to what you asked, sister, but the point is, if it did have in the book, في الثالثة والرابعة, would you identify that to be a mistake or not?
Yeah.
Because you've dealt with this in lesson number 4 in Madinah Book 1. So it's like this. There's going to be sometimes, even myself, I might be reading something. If I read, sit down and read to my sheikh, I'll read, he'll say, look, and he'll correct me. Because the construction that I read, I'm probably not familiar with it enough. Thus, I make a mistake. Or it might be a word that I've never seen before. So I might pronounce it in the wrong way, and he'll correct me. But it's all about just exposing yourself. That's the quick fix. Expose yourself to the language until it becomes like second nature.
Oh, okay.
Inshallah ta'ala. Right. Here again, I think you read this one again, Sister Aisha. Yeah, you said Iqra ad-darsa ya Ali, if I'm not mistaken. No, sorry, you said Iqra'i. Yeah, I remember you said Iqra at first, then you joined it. That's correct, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now again, this is iltiqa as-sakinain, so you read it correctly. I don't know why they didn't give it the kasra, and I've always personally wondered about this verb in particular. When we say iqra'i, does the hamza al-qati'i drop below the alif? But I've never ever found the answer to that mystery. It still remains a mystery to this day. unfortunately. But nonetheless, the correct way to read it is اقرأ الد اقرأ الدرس. فهمتم?
Yeah.
No. Jade. Again, remember I said earlier on, when you're constructing the command form of the verb for the masculine plural, you just add at the end of the verb waw and noon.
Oh yeah.
There we go, right there.
It's,
What does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say in the Quran? يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا ادْخُلُوا فِي السِّلْمِ كَافَّةً. صح? All you who believe, ادخلوا. Read the ayah though, أخي. يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا ادْخُلُوا. هكذا أليس كذلك?
Yeah.
نعم.
And it also happens 4 lines up where it says اقتلوها يا إخوان.
أيوة, we're gonna get to that. But with that verse there, يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا, then you go straight from آمَنُوا to the dal from udkhulu.
Yeah.
Allah's commanding those who believe to enter في السلم كافة, يعني enter into al-Islam completely. Does that make sense, guys?
Yeah, you don't pronounce a hamza till wasl, right?
Exactly. Now moving up quickly, this is a past tense verb, matat. Yani, sorry, yeah. Before that, actually, the teacher says amatat. Yani, is she dead? Is it dead? Meaning, is the scorpion dead? Na'am matat. And these are all indications, guys, that scorpion is definitely a feminine noun. All right, it's being referred to feminine. Going back up a little bit, let's go back up to where the Mudarris says uqtuluha. Now, very, very important. The teacher's telling the students, kill it, right? Thank you so much. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. Yeah, the teacher is saying to the students, kill it. Yani, kill the ha. Here goes back to the aqrab. Again, another indication that it's feminine. But notice, guys, which is really interesting, you see with ijlisu, right? There's no pronoun connected to the verb. Hence why you can see the waw and the noon. But in the case where you have a damir or a damir al-nasb, this ha here is a damir al-nasb. Remember that we damir al-nasb wal-jar wal-rafa'?
Oh, okay.
You guys remember that or you don't remember?
Offhand, no, I can't remember.
Okay, you know, in Arabic, you've got those pronouns which are considered to be dama'ir al-rafa'. Those dama'ir that will occupy the position of rafa'. They're pronouns like ana, anta, anti, huwa, hiya, hum, and hunna, wa hakada, right? They occupy the position of the pronoun that's going to be in the state of rafa' or marfu'. Then you've got those pronouns, guys, that will occupy the position of jar. Like, for example, kitabuka, kitabuki, kitabuhu, kitabuha. Any pronoun that will, occupy that position correctly is a pronoun of jar. All right. You wouldn't say, for example, kitabu anta, would you guys?
Yeah. No.
You couldn't say kitabu anta. You say kitabuka, because anta isn't a damir of jar. It's not a damir that occupies the position of being majroor, but its equivalent, the kaf, does.
Oh yeah. Now I remember that. Yeah.
You wouldn't say to somebody, for example, ka talibun. You say anta talibun, because ka is not a dama'ir of rafa'. Make sense, guys? طيب. Now some dama'ir of jar can also be dama'ir of a nasb as well. All right. Now, for example, if I said, for example, ضربت Muhammadan. Muhammad is mansub because it's maf'ulun bihi. Isn't that so?
Yeah.
And I can change Muhammadan for who? ضربته.
Yeah.
Who here is from the dama'ir of a-nasb. Any time of damir can occupy a position of whatever the state is. Raf', nasb, jar, it will be a dama'ir of that particular state. So when we look at the verb, or the word, shall I say, uqtuluha, we know that ha is the maf'ulan bihi, and it is mansub, and the sign of it being mansub is hidden. That fatha there isn't because it's mansub. That fatha is always there for ha. Sah?
Yeah, because it's fixed. صح?
Because it's mabni, mumtaz. Lakin the second fa'idah that I wanted to tell you is look at the hamza, look at the hamza al-wasl, or the alif, shall I say. It's called the alif when it comes at the end of a word. Look at the alif after the waw here when there is no pronoun attached, but the moment we attach a domir of a nasb, where's the alif go? It disappears.
Oh, okay.
Naam?
Yeah, that's why it wasn't there. Yeah, because it confused me for a second. I'm like, wait a minute, is this past tense verb? And no, it's not, because it has the
Exactly. Hamza al-wasl.
yeah.
All right. And then the teacher says, اقتلها, yani kill it بحذائك, with your hidha. Hidha are like your, not slippers, shoes. I'd say shoes. So kill it with your shoe. Is that the plural for? I'm gonna check in a second. Anyway, kill it with your shoe. I think it's the singular version actually. Oh, Hisham. All right, moving up because I'm going backwards. Here's the example of what I was telling you about, where we've done that already.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was all of the observations that I made. Bima, ma mana bima.
With what?
Exactly, with what? Bima is permissible to take off the alif that used to be attached to the ma when you have it. We've done this in Arabic. We've done it in a previous lesson. Lima, bima,
Yeah.
you know.
Bimma.
Bima,
Mimma.
minma, mimma, x and amma.
Yeah.
Exactly. Bima naqtuluha. What should I kill it with? All right, guys. So I've presented all of the grammar rules that are found in this tremendous lesson. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. If not, then we can move on to just go through the questions, and then we can wrap it up, man. Hope you enjoyed the lesson. Any questions?
No, not for me.
You good, Sister Aisha?
No, I don't have any questions.
Okay. Tamarin. Now, exercise number 1. أجب عن الأسئلة الآتية. The answers, إخواني وأخواتي في الله, to this exercise is contingent on the hiwar that you guys just read. All right, so very, very easy, just basic comprehension. Next, it says صحح ما يلي. Correct the following. So, قال المدرس لعلي اقتل العقرب. All right, you have to make تصحيح. You have to correct the sentences.
Yeah.
Right, so there's obviously going to be a mistake. Now look down here. اقرأ يا عائشة.
تأمل أبو بكر لأبي بكر.
Oh, you guys have got تأمل in your book?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's cool. تأمل basically just means ponder, but alhamdulillah it's not here. But anyway, yeah, you're right. It says Abu Bakr li Abi Bakr. What do you think it's trying to tell you there, sister?
That the li causes a ya to appear after Abi because it's in
Why though?
because it's in a state of jar.
Yeah, but why though? Does that ya always appear because of words in the state of jar?
The ya only comes if wait. Could you repeat the question, please?
No
Sorry.
problem. It says Abu Bakrin, and then it says Li Abi Bakrin with the ya. The question is, why is the ya connected to the word ab? You said because it's in the state of jar, which is absolutely correct, but it doesn't necessarily mean because of words in the state of jar. Like for example, look at this word here. Hisham huna is in the state of jar because it's got the li in front of it, right?
Yeah.
But there's no ya at the end of Hisham. Anyone can help her out, by the way.
I know that the waw.
It's the 5 from the 5 nouns.
Excellent, because from the al-asma al-khamsa. It's from al-asma al-khamsa. All right. When al-asma al-khamsa, remember I said that when al-asma al-khamsa are in a state of rafa, it's gonna be as such with the waw. When it's in a state of jar, it's gonna be as such with the ya. And when it's mansoob, it's gonna be as such with the fatha. Alif.
Alif.
Alif, 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 alif.
And it's only when it's in the position of mudaf, right?
Excellent. Sorry, my bad. That's a tremendously important point. Yeah, when it occupies the position of the mudaf. Fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great, great. Next one, it says اقرأ ما يلي. And again, here it's just taking you through the process that we just went through, guys. Yeah. أنت تكتب. So they're looking at the verb taktub as opposed to yaktub, which is fine. You do the same thing. So you get the verb in the present tense, taktubu. You delete the first initial harf al-mudari'ah, and you're left with kuttub, tub, which you can't pronounce. Then you have to come with the hamza and wasl to make uktub. All right, guys? Anta tadkhul. Tadkhul, dkhul, udkhul. And this sign here is talking about if the ayn al-fi'l is madmuma in the mudari'ah, then in the amr, the same letter is going to be as such. Make sense, guys?
Yeah.
Yep.
And all of these examples here, it just wants you to read. اخرج من الفصل يا بشير. اكتب درسك يا علي. اسجد لله. انظر إلى ذاك الجبل. وهكذا. You guys just have to read it. And again, for ba, exactly the same principle, guys. But this time, what we're looking at? We're looking at a verb when the ayn al-fi'l is what, guys?
Kasra.
Maksura.
Maksura, yeah.
Naam, tajlis, jlis, ijlis. All right? And then last but not least, guys, and obviously you've got the chance to read. Maybe next lesson I'll get you guys just to read it, to work on your reading skills, because we are running a little bit late. But when we come to this last example, Jim, now we look at sorry, let me go back. For Hamza, for the alif here, we saw the ayn al-fi'l being madmuma with a dhamma. Then for the ba, we saw the ayn al-fi'l being maksura. Now for Jim, we're seeing the ayn al-fi'l being what, guys?
Maftuha.
Maftuha. Mumtaz. So it's basically saying if the ayn al-fi'l is maksura in the mudari'ah, then it's going to be maksura in the amr. If the ayn al-fi'l is maftuha in the mudari', then the ayn al-fi'l is going to be maksura in the amr. Just like I mentioned previously, guys, all right?
Yeah, at the beginning.
That's it. That's it right there. That's it right there. So you got to just read that, really, really understand it. And then it just says, Anta ta'kul. Ta'kul becomes kul, as I mentioned. Anta ta'khudh. Ta'khudh becomes khudh. The same is for taqul. It becomes qul.
Yeah.
All right. Anta taqumu qum. Stand. All right.
Wait a minute. I noticed maybe I'm jumping the gun here, but I noticed a pattern here, and it's that the fa, the fi'l, the fa fi'l here is always a hamza for ta'kul and ta'khudh.
Yeah, but that's not the same for qala yaqulu.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
You know, or qama yaqumu.
Yeah.
You know, it's definitely a pattern for what you got for these two verbs, but it's all to
It's
do.
not going to work every time.
No, because it's all to do with. I mean, when we go deeper into the world of verbs, you've got weak verbs. Some weak verbs have the fa al-fi'l is a weak letter, or the ayn al-fi'l might be a weak letter, or the lam al-fi'l might be a weak letter, and it all depends on all of these variations. If that makes sense, my brother.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's down the line, so it could be. Yeah, inshallah.
Right, exercise number 4, guys. It says again. Look at this. This is a command verb. So.
Yeah.
Sur here, right? And it's almost when you see sur, it's saying form. Sur يعني الأمر. صغ الأمر من الأفعال الآتية. So guys, you've got the blueprint now. You got the madi, you got the mudari'. You guys have now the tools to make any amr from these type of verbs.
Yeah.
All right, guys, and that's what you guys have to do. Just go through that, make the command for, and you've got a bunch of verbs here to keep you busy.
Yeah.
All right. Now look at this here. It says Hamzatul Amri, Hamzatul Wasl. It says the Hamza of Amr is the Hamza of Al-Wasl, or is a Hamzatul Wasl. فلا تكتب فوقها أو تحتها علامة الهمزة. They say, so don't write above the Hamza or below the Hamza, yani the Hamza al-Wasl. Don't write this sign here. Because if you do, you've changed it into Hamza al-Qat'i.
Ah, okay.
You know what's interesting, guys? I haven't studied in university. I haven't studied Arabic in university. My Arabic has come from primarily my time in Medina and also independent studies, right? So,
Mhm.
you know, I learned that you never put the Hamza on top or below a command form of the verb, right? But I know brothers that have had the academic education, like they haven't like gone to like, you know, in an Arabic environment, in a university in the Arab lands. They've learned the Arabic language from a university in the UK, for example, and they are really loose on this rule here. So you might see
Oh,
somebody,
really?
yeah, really loose. They use a command form of the verb, but to show the reader that you put a kasra or a fatha above it on the hamza al-wasl, they would give it this hamza sign that I've got highlighted here, and that's incorrect.
Ah, okay.
That's incorrect. Yeah, it's crazy. Like when I corrected one brother, he asked him to read over some work. I corrected him. He says, "You know what?" He goes, "I went to uni for X amount of time. How many years he was in, got his degree." He goes, "I can translate the most complicated, you know, contract about oil or this or
Uh-huh.
a law contract." He goes, "But these types of things that they didn't teach us." I thought it was quite funny personally, man. You know, he spent all
Yeah.
this time learning how to translate contracts that you may never ever translate in your life in the real world, but something so, you know, basic they don't teach you, man. Allah al-Musta'an. Anyway,
Yeah.
moving on swiftly, guys. It says ta'ammal ma yali. We're at number 5 now. You guys following me?
Yeah.
Great. But number 5, guys, says ponder over the following. And here it's just showing you the relationship between the iltiqa as-sakinain and subsequently how that affects the vowel sound of the last letter of the vowel. The last letter of the command form of the verb. I'm just looking here now, and even in the book that I have, they've written it exactly the same. So they haven't put the hamza at the bottom. So that looks like that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Does that make sense, guys?
Yeah.
All right, and that's what we look. So you got uktub ad-darsa, uktub ad-darsa, and it's more for you to read, nothing for you to write as such. All right, nothing for you to write as such.
So yeah, here with the iqra, it seems you put a kasra without putting the hamza underneath the alif, right?
That's what it appears, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
All right, and then number 6. It says اقرأ ما يلي مراعيا قواعد نطق همزة الوصل وقواعد نطق الحرف الساكن عندما يلي ال. It says read the following sentences bearing in mind the rule about التقاء الساكنين. Yani read the following sentences, take into consideration the rules as it relates to the pronunciation of Hamza al-Wasl and the rules as it relates to the pronunciation of the huruf that are sakin. So here now you've got the verb kul, then you've got wa, and then you've got ishrab. But obviously, when we take into consideration the rules pertaining to the hamza al-wasl, are we going to say wa ishrab or are we going to say wa shrab?
Washrab.
Excellent. Wa excellent. Huna, are we going to say iqra ad-darasa wa afhamhu, or are we going to say iqra id-darasa wa afhamhu?
Yeah, the second one.
الثاني صح؟
صح.
Now, هكذا. So this is what this lesson wants you to do. And again, when we meet up next week, when we meet up on Friday, we're going to go through this again, but very, very quickly. Only the exercises that require us to read. And then we're going to, move on to the next lesson, inshallah ta'ala. Once again, there's a lot of work here, guys.
Mhm.
Lot of work here, you know.
Yeah,
Especially
do you,
يا آدم اسكن ليس يا آدم اسكن أنت يا آدم اسكن أنت وزوجك الجنة. All right, guys.
yeah.
Yeah.
يا خذ الكتاب بقوة ليس خذ الكتاب وهكذا.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I know you guys are probably tired, man. I'm bored of my
Well,
voice, but we're nearly wrapping it up. Number
yeah.
six,
Well, go ahead.
you say yeah. When I said you're bored of my voice, you was like, yeah.
Yeah. No, as in, yeah,
Yeah.
because Maghrib is coming in right now, and I think, yeah.
I'm gonna wrap this up then. Number 7, اقرأ ما يلي. Just read the following. يا حامد اذهب. You see it, guys? يا حامد اذهب. يا حامد اذهب. يا إخوان اذهبوا. يا آمنة اذهبي. يا أخوات اذهبن. There's that noon on guys.
Yeah, these are the conjugations for the different, for whether plural, singular, or masculine, or feminine. صح?
Exactly. So you guys just have to read this, اقرأ ما يلي, and just implement everything that you've read, sorry.
Yeah.
Just to let you know, I haven't mentioned this yet, but my eyes just caught it. Number 7, right? No, that's fine. No, that's cool. We've learned that. We have learned that. طيب, moving on swiftly, and this is the last thing that I'm going to mention now, guys, and which is number 8. It says ضع في الفراغ فيما يلي فعل أمر مناسب, which means put in the space what follows a suitable command form of the verb. So let's just do number 1, 2, and 3 together. So number 1, Abdullah. Number 2, Aisha. Number 3, Farwa. Bismillah.
Bismillah.
And I want you to read it with التقاء الساكنين وكل شيء.
Okay. اقرأ القرآن يا مريم.
Excellent. Well done, Akhi. May Allah bless you.
يا أولاد كلوا الخبز واشربوا القهوة.
One more time.
يا أولاد كلوا الخبز واشربوا القهوة.
Mumtaz. You made that into the plural, right?
Yeah.
Mumtaz. Sister Farwa, may Allah bless you. Sister Farwa.
أخرج من الفصل يا موسى.
أخرج من الفصل يا موسى. Excellent, guys. I don't anticipate you guys are going to have any issues with this. All right. Last but not least, guys. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So this is near the end of the lesson.
This is the end of the lesson.
Can I just ask one question? You know, for the first one where you say اقرأ القرآن,
yeah.
is it with a ya, اقرأي?
La. Oh, yeah. Sorry, my bad. You're right, because it's Maryam.
So then do we have to say اقرأ il or do you have to say اقرأي?
The iqra il. You say iqra il.
So do we not give ya a kasra?
Yeah, that's no. The ya has a sukoon.
Yeah, no, I mean, but like for the sake of joining.
Yeah, that's a fantastic question. Iqra. Let me get back. Let me get back to that one.
Yeah, I actually didn't. I'm sorry. I actually didn't intend to read it with the conjugation in mind. So Jazakallah khair for pointing that out. That mistake out.
Yeah, that's.
Wouldn't it usually take a kasra?
Yeah, it should. But iqra'il. Is it? Maybe it might be iqra'il. But I've never kind of come across that or even thought about that before. Let me get back to you guys, inshallah ta'ala, on the group tomorrow.
Yeah, inshallah.
Well, very good question, Sister Farwa. J. Mumtaz. Last but not least, it says أقسام الفعل ثلاثة. The categories of the verb are 3. أقسام meaning categories, plural of qism. You've got ماضٍ, which is the past. Then you've got مضارع, which is the present. Then you've got أمر, which is the command. نحو, for example, ذهب يذهب اذهب. And these are all like 3 forms or 3 أقسام of the verb. Any verb that you learn, try to learn at least these 3. Because from these 3, you can do a lot. There's another form, but it's not a verb. It's actually a noun called the masdar, which we've covered a little bit. We've covered the masdar on the pattern fa'ul, and yeah, that's it. And guys, in your own time, learn these words. All right. The only one I'm a bit skeptical about is this one here, Musan. In the book, it's translated as a razor. Razor. This ain't Musa the name.
Okay.
But I'm a bit more taraddid that it's got why it's got fathat yani tanween, because it's got tanween in the new version as well. But there's a load of verbs here, guys.
How would you pronounce it in the new version?
You know, it's exactly the same as you see on the screen, Musan as well. But I need to double check why that is.
Okay.
Inshallah ta'ala. But in any case, any questions that you guys have in the meantime, please feel free to message me, and I'll do my very best to get back to you in a timely fashion. Bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. All right, guys?
Yeah, I just got one last question for me more. Because I've been trying to catch up with the previous lessons, would you prefer if I catch up with the previous lessons as I'm doing right now, or start over with, like, not start over, but try and start the homework for this lesson right now?
You know, the only thing is, Akhi, two things. It's going to be quite difficult for you just to keep, because every single lesson, you know, I'm piling on like, what, 6 or 7 pieces of homework. So if you haven't done the last one, you're going to keep playing catch up. It's going to be difficult. I would say just continue from where we are now, and then when you get like a little break, because when the exam comes, and you know, use that time to revise and maybe catch up then with any homework that you've missed. And also I feel sorry for myself as well, because if you're going to send me a whole bunch of homework.
Yeah, I'm so, like, I actually dread it for you. I'm sorry so much. I'm so sorry.
It's cool. Don't worry about it, actually. But yeah, no, I would say just start where you are. To be honest with you, you know, I'm testing you guys as we're going along, and I'm very, very happy with the Three Musketeers, man.
Oh yeah, I forgot that name.
Yeah, nah, mashallah, you guys are doing a great job. So keep up the good work, guys. And inshallah ta'ala, we're going to reconvene on Friday, and we're going to bang out lesson 15. Once we finish lesson 15, guys, the next lesson is going to be a test. All right?
Yep.
I will just jump online like I always do, explain the test, send it to you guys, and then you're going to have a couple of days to bang it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we're practically, guys, inshallah, practically from next lesson halfway through the book, and that's a tremendous feat, man. I need to where are we at now? December. Yeah, I need to crack on because my wife's gonna give birth soon, so I need.
Oh, mashallah.
Yeah, I didn't tell you.
No, I didn't hear it.
Yeah, well, she's like literally gonna be dropping soon, so and I wanna try to free up a bit of time early next year, so I can you know, be khidmatiha.
Yeah, inshallah.
All right, guys, jazakumullahu khair for your time, and have a nice evening, and I'll see you guys Friday, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.